Persuasive writing introduction paragraph. Just going to go over ideas for your introduction paragraph. I got all of this information off of the Purdue OWL website, but I just put it on a document for you so it was there and I could walk you through it. So I like the first sentence that they have. A good introduction in an argumentative essay acts like a good opening statement in a trial. So you're choosing a side of an argument and you're trying to get your audience to find worth in what you're saying. Okay? So you need to start off strong. So as always, you'll start off with a hook or attention grabber. The best ways to do this are a quote that's related to something about your essay, but it has to be pretty broad. A personal story, so that's an anecdote. A surprising statistic, I'd say this is the most common one used at the high school level. I mentioned this in our Zoom meeting. If you have a startling fact that's more general about your whole topic, not one of your specific body paragraph topics, that's a really good way to pull your audience in. And you could have an interesting question, but I say don't do that. Then it goes through an example here for you. And if it is a startling statistic or a quote, make sure you say who said it. If you start your essay with just a quote, let's say by a famous person or someone who's an expert in the area, you don't have to put that on your citation page. So if I wanted to quote something that Walt Disney said to grab my audience's attention, I could just put his words in a quotation mark and just put in parentheses Walt Disney. Or you could say, as Walt Disney said, if you want, but that's not as strong of a start. Kind of gets in the way of your quote. So that way, if you just put your quote in there, and in parentheses just say who said it, then that's a really strong way to start. Okay, so after you have that, you move on to background information. Okay, so you have to give your readers a little bit of background on your topic, because they might know a lot about it, they might not. So you have to give them a sufficient amount of information to build up what the underlying issues are with your topic. Okay, so they have to be able to understand the issue that's being presented. So it gives context and history that's important to arguing this. So 2 places you can look for this background information. On the organization planning sheet, there was a historical background section. Use some of that general information here as your background. Your summary statements from your note sheets are very good. Okay? What you must avoid in your background are setting up your 3 topics. So I wouldn't have 3 different sentences, one each being about what my body topic paragraphs are going to be about. This is literally general information. So we have a good solid base, and then you're going to prove your points later. Then the last sentence should be your thesis statement. Okay, so make sure it's clear and to the point. And this is it. Like, this is what you're arguing. So you have to make it a really strong statement. Okay? Do not list the 3 topics of your body paragraphs. Here are some examples. The United Nations must be redesigned because it's currently incapable of preventing wars. So I would assume that the body paragraphs are going to talk about how currently it's incapable of preventing wars and possibly how they could redesign. Okay, so the essay is going to provide the evidence and bring up the topics, not your thesis. And, one other thing I wanted to point out, we have redesign, must be redesigned. So make sure you don't have your main verb be is or are in there. So you can't have like the necessary ways to prevent cancer are blah blah blah. That's a terribly weak thesis. Okay, what to leave out? Oh, I kind of talked about this. A good introduction should not be describing arguments that you're going to bring up later or analysis. It's simply like facts and background knowledge only. Okay, so set up your point. Don't lay out the topics you're bringing up or your evidence. Don't announce what you're going to be arguing. I'm going to prove that. No, no, no. I know that by your statement. Okay? There should be no personal pronouns in your paper anywhere. Okay? No I, me, my, no you. Okay? No we. All third person. If you want to read further, I have the link here if you want to read it, but it's pretty much what I went through. So your introduction paragraph should be 8 to 12 sentences still. Okay, your body should be 10 to 15. Your intro should be 8 to 12. Just kind of depends on how much background knowledge is super necessary to set up what you're talking about. Okay, happy paragraphing.